Welcome to Smart, Amazing Conversations with Dr. Nancy, a podcast that takes a look at stories of life and leadership for smart, amazing women and men like you.
The way I can give support to the world right now is by showing up. The most important thing is don't think just that you have to bring anything. Bring yourself, show up.
If you are in a position of leadership and a position of management, bring women along with you.
Supporting women is Dr. Nancy's passion and her purpose, and talking with other women and men who promote women's leadership is one of her favorite things to do.
I've yet to meet a woman who did not know what she really wanted. She was just either afraid to ask the questions or she was afraid of what the answers meant.
Their stories connect us and help us understand that the possibilities are endless if we support each other and lift other women up.
Trust is created by persistent identity. I show up in my conversations. I build relationships. I show up as myself time and time and time again. And trust is built. It's one conversation at a time.
Today's guest is Sara Lomelin, the founding CEO of Philanthropy Together, a global initiative expanding the power of collective giving. Named to the TIME100 Philanthropy list and Forbes 50 over 50 Impact, Lomelin is recognized worldwide for redefining what it means to be a philanthropist, making generosity more accessible, joyful, and rooted in equity. She launched the Latino Giving Circle Network, now the largest network of Latinx philanthropists in the United States. Under her leadership, Philanthropy Together has supported nearly 4,000 giving circles and 370,000 everyday philanthropists who have contributed over $3.1 billion to nonprofits. She is a TED mainstage speaker and a two-time Nonprofit Times Power and Influence Top 50 honoree. Lomelin is a visionary who believes everyone can be a philanthropist. Now, here's Dr. Nancy and her guest, Sara Lomelin.
We've got some important stuff to talk about, and
yes,
this is a conversation, and we want people to learn more about your philanthropic endeavors. Philanthropic endeavors are, that's really how the United States works, by the way, is what would happen if all of our 501c3 organizations disappeared? We'd be in big trouble. But let's talk about you, because how did you get to be you, the Sara that I'm talking to today? And then we'll talk about your philanthropic endeavors. But how did you get to be Sara?
Well, I am originally from Mexico City. I was born there, and I grew up in Mexico City in a Catholic family. I went to an all-girls Catholic school my whole life. And the sense of service and supporting our community was always instilled in us. As I have three siblings. My mother was an educator her whole life. She passed away 6 months ago, but until the last day, she had a preschool, and she was there every day. So and my dad has always been extremely philanthropic and extremely focused on serving others. So I guess, from a very young age, helping my community and doing whatever I could to support people that didn't have the same privilege that I had was always instilled in us. And then almost 30 years ago, I moved to the US with the idea of just, do some graduate education and then coming back to Mexico. And almost 30 years later, I'm still here. So I had many different careers, many different, I was an entrepreneur for a few years. I started my career in financial institutions, but then about 15 years ago, I thought I wanted to get a job that was going to give me a lot more in terms of purpose. I wanted to do something completely different, and that is when I started in philanthropy.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and I have similar background, and I think that has a lot to do with it. If our parents and the community that we grow up in understands that giving and helping a helping hand, not a handout, but a helping hand is so important.
Yes.
And so I also grew up with that. I mean, I think I grew up with it almost feeling it was a responsibility, and
Exactly.
still see it as a responsibility. But of course, the purpose, as you were saying, it truly gives you a lot of satisfaction to see others continue to grow. And of course, Women Connect for Good. We have the Lift as You Rise program, but it's about lifting others up and giving them an opportunity to live their very best lives. So I absolutely agree. And again, when we look at the Latino population, especially women, the population in the United States is really over 50%. And I don't, a lot of people really know that. I mean, I'm in California, and at my equestrian center, I have a very large Latino family actually that works with me. Three brothers and a son, and then Victor, who is my head groom. But one of the things that we're doing here is we're making sure we give them English classes 3 days a week. And so it's important for us to continue to help them to elevate and to be prepared to be in this country and be in this world as both bilingual. But again, giving them an opportunity to live their very best lives. That's what's most important to me. But again, philanthropic endeavors, that's how we get it done. Go ahead and talk about your projects.
Yes, so that is the moment I started being connected in philanthropy was because I was living in Dallas, Texas, and with a group of Mexican friends and Latino friends, we started a giving circle without even knowing that was called a giving circle, to support young moms and children in some of the organizations in Dallas. And a couple of years later, I moved back to California, to the Bay Area, where I live in San Francisco. And an opportunity opened up to join the Latino Community Foundation. So I joined the Latino Community Foundation in 2011, and I started the Latino Giving Circle Network. So first in 2012, with a group of 16 women, that got together, that were very interested in supporting women and girls and supporting economic, the economic empowerment of Latina women. We started the first Giving Circle with 16 women in San Francisco. And after that, we started different Latina giving circles in other areas of the Bay Area, in Pleasanton, in the East Bay, in the Peninsula. And in a few years, we had 23 Latino giving circles. The majority of them totally women-led, some of them co-ed. We had Latinos in tech that had, young professionals, men and women, that were working in the tech companies. And also, we had a couple of men giving circles. So I was at the Latino Community Foundation for 8 years. And during those years, I got connected with other women that were doing very similar work, but with other communities, the Black community in the South, the API community, the Jewish community in New York. And a few of us in 2017 got together to dream what was possible for the American Giving Circle movement. So we got, at that moment, $25,000 from the Gates Foundation to get 40 people together and start thinking what was possible. After 2 days and many Post-its around the room, we came back to the Gates Foundation and said, we need something, but we don't know yet what we need. We need more time. We want to embark in a co-design project during a year. We want to include a lot more voices. So during a year, we created working groups. We involved funders, researchers, Giving Circle leaders, Giving Circle members, and Philanthropy Together is basically the brainchild of more than 100 people. So we launched Philanthropy Together in 2020, April 1st of 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic. And in a couple of weeks, we realized that we were not only reaching out to the American Giving Circle movement, we were also supporting the global Giving Circle movement, because, during the pandemic, if you remember, was everybody was stuck at home thinking, what is mine to give? What can I learn? What can I do? How can I participate in something so I don't feel, useless or isolated? So we started putting trainings online about how to start your giving circle, how to support grassroots organizations. And we had people joining us from Germany, from Australia, from Colombia, from Canada. So, suddenly we scratched on our mission that we were supporting the American Giving Circle movement, and we said we're a global organization. And for the past 5.5 years, I have had the privilege of meeting every day the good people in this world that want to do something, to support their local communities.
Fantastic. Well, I just came back from New York and the Clinton Global Initiative.
Yes.
There's something. Have you been to that? It's their
Yes.
their 20-year anniversary, and it's just something very special when you're around people that are there for the purpose of they're change makers. They care. They want to do good in the world. It's just different to be around people that you have no question who they are. And of course, giving circles, as you said, have been around, and this global movement is absolutely so very, very important. And of course, we are global also, so we want to learn more about the global aspect of Giving List. I'm also been involved with the Giving List, Gwen Lurie here in Montecito. I mean, again, she's very active, and we're going to be doing some great things, and hopefully we'll get together with some of those events. But one of the things that you said, well, let me ask you to define democratizing philanthropy. Tell me about that definition, because I think it's something that's very, very important for people to understand the importance of the philanthropic endeavors. But define that for me, please.
Yes, that has been my motto for many, many years. The word philanthropy is very charged for a lot of people, right? And if you think about it, the word philanthropy really means love of humanity. So, with that definition, who doesn't love humanity, right? Anyone can be a philanthropist. Everybody can be a philanthropist. And what I'm trying to do is just take that word and tell people you don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be a billionaire to be a philanthropist. You can be 22 years old, right out of college, and get together with your friends and become philanthropists. A lot of people feel that they want to help, but they feel that, oh, my $100 is not going to make a difference, or my $1,000 is not going to make a difference. What about uniting your $1,000 with another 100 people that are giving $1,000, and then you can give $100,000 to an organization? That's the impact of collective giving. So, as for democratizing philanthropy, what I understand is how can we just get out of this notion that the philanthropic sector or a philanthropic endeavor is only for a few, because the crises that are all over the world are so large and are everywhere, and we need to move the power of philanthropy from a few hands into all of our hands. We need to mobilize everyone. We need to mobilize our neighbors, our friends, our children, right? Because they are, especially, in moments like the ones that we're living right now, many small organizations are losing their funding. And when people think about helping, you always think about the big organizations, right? The Red Cross, the ACLU, these big nonprofits. But what about the tiny ones that are being inundated by, with clients, but they don't have the funding to support those clients? So that is when, where regular people can really make a difference.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm going to kind of change some names for you, but I don't use the word nonprofit. I don't like it. I use
Okay,
the
I
I
love it. I
I,
know, I love that you don't love it. I
I
love
don't
that you don't love it. Yeah.
love it. I think it's a very negative impact when people talk about 501c3s, when they say nonprofit organization, people go, ooh. I use the term social profit.
Love it.
So I'm going to give that to you, and you can use it. I use social profit, then I say 501c3. But again, I'm letting people know what I'm talking about. But if all the social profit organizations in the United States went away today, you and I both know, Sarah, that we'd be in big
Oh,
trouble.
yes.
And we know
Yes.
that we're in big trouble because of all the different social profit organizations that are losing funding because of the USA
Mhm.
taken from them. But again, this is when collaboration is key. This is
Mhm.
organizations can 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 call up each other and say, how can we help each other? And I think that's the important thing. And I use the term equal sacrifice. And I think the majority of people, 99% of most people want to help. They just don't
Yes.
know how. And so what we as philanthropic organizations can do is give them an opportunity and say, what are you passionate about? What,
Mhm.
what makes your heart tick? What excites you? Or what makes you upset? What makes you angry? Let's do something about it. There are organizations out there that can do the things that you're talking about. And it doesn't matter if you've got, as you said, $1,000 or $100. If you have $10, let's even talk about $1. If 5,000 people gave $1,
Yes.
I mean, it's always been in our country when we come together that we can do anything. And I think especially right now, philanthropic organizations need to understand that we're more important and more powerful than so many other organizations based on what's going on in the United States right now. And you
Exactly.
can't take away people's hearts. And what, being at CGI, the Clinton Globalist Initiative, 2,500 people are walking around and they're saying, how can we help each other? What can we do to help one another? Or they're standing up and saying, this is what I do. This is what I care about. And it's just, it's so powerful. And when I do a lot of podcasts, I do this, but I do a lot of videos. And one thing that I talk about, and this is something that we need to keep sharing, there are good things going on out there. We
Yes.
need to talk about the good things and the people that do care, and the Sarahs of the world that are out there doing so much to bring these giving circles and these people together. And I think that can overlay and sponge out and clean out the slate of some of this other crap that we continue to hear about if we just talked about the great things that are going on in our country. And I think
Com-
people would feel so much better. The NFL, by the way, is a 501c3
I
organization.
know. I know.
But
A
the thing
little ridiculous.
is that you and I both know, and I do like the term, everyone is a philanthropist, every one of us, because there's not one of us in this time, or if we think about in our own history, that we haven't helped somebody else. You
Yes, exactly.
know, even a child that helps another child, you're being a philanthropic individual. You're helping because you care.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And the other way of how, I think about democratizing philanthropy is going beyond the dollars, right? Like thinking of the word philanthropy in an expansive way. So we call it the 5 T's of philanthropy. So you give your treasure, which is of course your financial resources, but you can give your time as a volunteer, being a board member in an organization. You can give your talents, right? Like organizations are hungry for talent, and we all have talents to give. Our testimony, right? We can use our voice and our testimony to advocate for the causes that we care about, and our ties, because a lot of times by opening our networks, that is a lot more powerful than a financial donation a lot of the time. So
Yeah. Well,
also
but
looking at that.
that's a big piece of what Women Connect for Good does, is that we're creating a community, a network of individuals that can collaborate with each other, that connect with each other. And again, I'm on the National Women's History Museum board, telling the story, telling the true story, getting the facts out, telling how women in our history, in all walks of life, have done amazing things, but have never been in the school books, have never been taught.
Yes.
So we come from such a wonderful background, and that we need to keep talking about the good things that are going on. But you're right, time, treasure, talents, we can give all those things, and again, it's something that each and every one of us can do right now. So get away from the fear, get away from the chaos, but talk. We need to talk about people. How can you help? Asking for help, but talking how you can help all of us. But
Yes, and I have a very great story for you. Last week it was grants night for one of the giving circles that I'm part of, and we started the night with $37,000 to give out to three organizations, and we were about 30 women, 25 women there, and we heard from these three amazing organizations that are working in San Mateo County in the Bay Area. And by the end of the night, we gave out $54,000. We added five new members to the circle. And in the past week, three new members have joined too. So we have eight new members. And, we raise a lot more money in one night just by literally getting the testimony of the women leading these organizations and sharing the stories of what is going on, right? And what is going on 3 blocks from where we live, right? And, it was so extremely touching. And at the same time, very, matter of fact, like this is what we need. This is what is happening. And we need your help right now. And the beauty of a giving circle or a collective giving group is that there is no bureaucracy, right? We don't have to go through layers of, it was just like, okay, we need to get
yeah,
to $50,000 tonight. How do
yeah.
we do this, right? And in 15 minutes we got there. So it was just, it's the beauty of mobilizing and just, getting women together. Yes.
Well, one of the things that we do quite a bit is matching is
Mhm.
a wonderful way of saying,
Yes.
I'll give you this if you can match this. And typically, you're right, they go out and they get more money, which is even more,
Yes.
which makes them feel even better, even more self-esteem, more confidence in what they're doing. But again, telling the story is how these endeavors are making a difference, and the testimonies of the people that have already benefited from the
Yes.
one of the things that we're doing right now is the Connect for Impact. We're developing growing a young women's leadership program, 16 to 20 years old. And one of the things that they're going to be doing is also learning about gifting. They're going to learn about philanthropic endeavors. They're going to have, again, there'll be a giving circle as well. And so we're going to keep creating these circles with these young women who can go out and start other circles and continue
Yes.
circles. But then they will sit down and look at the different programs that are out there and who they want to fund. And
Yes.
this is it. And it's so much fun, and it's so rewarding. And again, when the stories that come back of the people that you've truly made a difference in their life, and you know what, they always turn around and do the same. So that's the thing about anything that we do. Those people or those programs or whoever will turn around and do even more after they that hand up, and they're there, and they're going to turn around and do the same for somebody else. So
Exactly. And as you said, right, is the ripple effect. Is
yeah,
how you inspire someone to join into this, and anybody can do it. I'm also a member of another giving circle that is it's pretty large. I think we're like 550 members, and we move about $3 million a year. We have two different themes per year. There's a lot of donor education, so we learn about the cause first. We have expert speakers to educate us about the different causes. Then, we learn from 10 different organizations about the projects that they're doing, and then five of those organizations will get 10,000 each, and then the other five will get the big grants. So one will end up going with $250,000 and the other four with something similar. But every time we go over, it's about $1 million and a half per theme.
Fantastic. Well,
So
that's a great impact. That will create a great depth of giving and a great depth of change. So,
yes.
all right. Well, we could talk forever about philanthropic endeavors and philanthropy because that's where I come from and that's where you come from. But what are some of your goals? How can we help you? And before this conversation ends, what's most important to Sara?
Well, you mentioned matching, and I remember when I was in Montecito last year, a lot of people, as you said, were thinking, "How can I help?" Right? But I don't know. I'm not really. I don't have the time to go and learn about all these projects or organizations, et cetera, et cetera. Matching Giving Circle grants, it's a great way of really go super hyper local and support different causes, right? A lot of people ask me, okay, if I am a high net wealth individual, how can I support Giving Circles? And it's just matching their grants. Like, for example, if you are passionate about women and girls economic empowerment in San Francisco, well, match the grants of the San Francisco Latina Giving Circle. Or if you are passionate about, I'm making up stuff, education in Florida, well, match the grants for Impact 100 in Palm Beach, right? So I feel that is a really great way for, philanthropists to go hyper local and support communities, knowing that those hidden circles have a very strong relationship and a very close relationship with the leaders that are leading those organizations.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that the matching it's a great idea.
You can see it, and you can see it happen.
Yes, and we have a directory of Giving Circles on our website.
Hands-on, and again, you talked about volunteers. You talked about people getting involved.
Yes.
Get on boards, become volunteers.
Get on boards.
I think that's
Yes.
the best way to learn about an organization that you're really interested in, being a volunteer, and
Yes.
going out and truly seeing what that organization does. And that's when your passion, your purpose come together, and anything is possible. So how do we learn more about your endeavors, these giving circles, and how more people can? By the way, once you become a part of this community, we never let you go. You're a part
I love it. I love it.
You're never leaving. You're a part of Women Connect for Good, and this growing group of organizations that are out there that are doing amazing things in the world. And you, of course, are doing that. And of course, this population is so important to us. This is something that we're truly, truly vested in. So how do we learn more about you and how we can find out more?
So our website is philanthropytogether.org. And if you want to join a Giving Circle, we have a directory, and you can find there are more than 4,000 Giving Circles just in the US, with mobilizing 370,000 people that have given out $3.1 billion in the past 6 years. So when people think also about Giving Circles being like cute and small, it's like, yeah, no, it's a really powerful movement, right? And so in the directory, you can put your zip code or a keyword of something that you're passionate about, and you will see Giving Circles that are near you. So you can join a Giving Circle, or you can start your own Giving Circle. We have free trainings going on every month about starting your Giving Circle. We will hold your hand, because also, as you said, the moment you're part of our community, we won't let you go until you tell us, okay, stop. So I think it's just learn more about collective giving, get together with your friends, match Giving Circle grants, and of course, I would be very naive if I wouldn't say that we are a very small organization too, so we're always looking for support too. So anything helps.
Any information that you want, we can put it on the website and continue your directory. Sounds like a wonderful idea. We'll share what we're doing, but again, Sara, congratulations on this amazing growth and continued growth of your giving circles, because again, they are more important than ever. And we want people to know out there that there are wonderful people in this world doing amazing, wonderful things to help each other. Because as you said, we're all in this together and we're going to stay in this together. And you know what I've been saying to people, and I love this. I keep saying, there's more of us than there are of
Yes,
them.
totally. Yes.
So
Yes.
we will stay in touch. We will talk again, and hopefully I will see you at another Giving List event. I think we have one coming up in April. So
Yes.
hopefully we will get to meet each other personally and face to face. So I look forward to that. But Melissa, and we will get connected with you, put this directory on our website, and continue to grow our relationship.
Perfect. Thank you, Dr. Nancy. This was amazing. I know it was, we had planned it for many months now. So I'm very, very happy, and thank you for the invitation. And I'll see you in April.
Well, you haven't seen the last of us, so just beware. But have a wonderful day, Sara. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
If you enjoy these smart, amazing conversations, please subscribe, rate, and review them on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And read and enjoy more amazing stories in my books, In This Together, How Successful Women Support Each Other in Work and Life, and Leading Women, 20 Influential Women Share Their Secrets to Leadership, Business, and Life. Thank you for listening.